Good evening. My name is Azizah Onifa from Aziphos Creations. We are located in North James Street at the synagogue historic site, the Red Building in James Street. It started like 24 years ago in our journey that we started off that we wanted to have our own production where we make this production our business. So that's where we are now at this location. What got me started into producing jewelry and other accessories that I sell, like the handbags and shoes, is due to having my children. I would have been working in a job in the system, but wanted to get away from the system because I was having children. I have 6 children. So I wanted to, take care of my children and take care of my family. During that time, I decided to take up arts as a full-time employment. So we started off small. Sipo taught me most of what I know as a beginner. I continued to train myself, do small classes, and train myself to, have more techniques that I could put into my work. So we went off from there. And then over the years, let's say about a few shows we did, say within 5 years, we got our first shop upstairs Cheapside Market. That is where we would have displayed our first shop officially. Then from there, we went over to Pelican Village, and we spent years in Pelican Village. And after Pelican Village, we went over to Shop Smart. Then we was in Shop Smart for about 1.5 years, going 2 years, but then COVID came in during that time and, caused everybody then to be shutting down shop. So my shop shut from Shop Smart due to Shop Smart shutting down. So I had to move out due to their closure. So then we were dormant during that time, but we had a shop in the cruise terminal as well during that time, but we only spent 3 months in the cruise terminal because then COVID shut down everything then during that time. So we was just out of work, had nothing to employ us. So then in 2023, which I would say that we was gradually coming out of the COVID lockdown, then we started to, think that we should get another shop. But during that time, while we was home lockdown, they had courses going on. So the UNDP had a course that you do through UV, social media marketing. So I did that course. And what happened during that course is that they grant us a grant which we could expand our business in any way that we wanted to. So for me, I expanded my business in terms of getting another shop where my customers could meet me and, have somewhere that they can come and purchase my beautiful stuff. So that's how we are here now. We're not a year yet. We're only a year, going a year now. We're only into about probably 8 months. Yeah, cause May, right. When May comes, during May, the first May would be a year that we would be spending here at this shop. Yeah. In those days, for any business, you have to market your product. So for me, as an artist in my accessory business, I wanted this to be my sole business. So I went out to different shows. I would have done Bridgetown markets, I would have done Old Town festivals, shows at the Gift and Craft show at the Lloyd Erskine Sandy First Center. I've done shows with NCF also. I would have gone overseas. My work would have gone overseas to be displayed for Cari Festa and for shows. So in doing that, you build up a clientele over the years. It's not easy. I used to sell in Bolton Lane, in Bridgetown as well too. That's my first starting up before I even had a shop or anything. So my face would have, you know, become more familiar with people seeing my products. And quality is it. You know, you have to produce quality stuff so that people would come back. So, you know, you got customers that would have worn my stuff and realize that they're not tarnishing quickly or not irritating the skin. So those are qualities that I would have had in my production that people would have, you know, generate a clientele for me because they realized the product was a durable product and keep coming back for more. But I would have done a lot of shows to market myself in terms of getting to the stage that I am at right now. It is a lot of work going out there. Every show that was going on, I would not back down. Any interviews that was on, I would not back down. I would go on them. I've been on Morning Barbados and those type of programs in order to market my business as well. So it's a journey, but once you have a love for it and a passion for it, it would manifest in terms of, you know, that genuineness. Once you put that genuineness within your business, it will come back to you. Okay, well, as I said, I had a little training in social media marketing. So that helped a lot in terms of knowing the mediums that you have to. I mean, I ain't versed on it fully yet, but I use it to get myself and my product across in the mediums like Instagram and Facebook and also WhatsApp business. You know, I use most of the mediums, I should say, not all of them, in order the ones that work for me. I find Instagram, you get contacts very easy. You get people, you know, reaching out from different countries that you're able to connect with and post work to. I also go international because opening up to the cruise terminal, that helped my business to even push more international because a lot of international shoppers will shop with me. So I will more direct them to Instagram to see new products. We working on, I have we will call it a website. I'm working on it bit by bit because you can never perfect a website totally. But what I find is that while working on the website, I still have to make sales. So obviously I gotta use the mediums that is quicker to get over to people, like my WhatsApp and the Instagram, because to get traffic to go to your website is a work in itself as well too. So all of that, you know, is steps along the way that I still working on. You know, you fully ain't get to these stages yet, but you keep at it in terms of bettering yourself, bettering your products. Because it's a whole package. You got better your products because you produce we produce everything that we have in our shop. We hand make everything from scratch to a product. So in doing that, as well as balancing, getting it out there for people to see, you know, you got to keep at it. So I use the mediums that are easier for me, like Instagram, where you just post a picture, get it out there, and then you get people, you know, passing on and stuff like that. Was that because when the community center started to do, like in the early stages when computers started to be more popular, I did one of the first classes, I would say, at the community center where you had to learn computer science, you know.
This is for EduTech that you're talking about?
Yes. So I would have done one of those courses and stuff so that I could have been more versed around, and that was like 25 years ago that I would have been into that. I teach all my children how to use a computer. Them never lack not knowing a computer. I always had it around me that I use. So we come from we call it it has something that you used to use as a memory thing.
A floppy disk.
Floppy disk. So we come from floppy disk now to phone. Phone.
Right.
Very, very important, both for my local business as well as my international clientele at the cruise terminal, because I also on Google Map, so that if persons coming to Barbados that are cruising, when they type in more jewelry in the cruise terminal, a shop will pop up, you know, along with probably other shops that sell products similarly. So it is good for those purposes where people don't have to go in a directory anymore. They could just Google it and it pops up for them more quicker in terms of where they could map out what they need to get. So it is very good for that purpose. We're, you know, carrying a business to another level. I mean, locally, yeah, for people knowing where I am, they ain't gotta work that hard like before. Before you would have had to go and put an ad on a TV, go and put an ad in the newspaper. No, you don't have to do that. You can put an ad on your page. You can link it with somebody else's page, which they would have other friends that could see that, and then it goes on and on and on and on, you know, to other clients. It's me. I do my own photos. The ones now that would have, like my Instagram, like not my Instagram, my business card, which would be these ones here. Now this photo was done. Oh, well, not this one. This one was me. I did this photo. I did this business card. So all these are done. I want to show you the other one. Let me just see. I wanted to show you one that have a young lady on it. That one was done by a professional photographer.
Yeah.
But I did my own using Canva. Canva is a big help because, you know, and then doing the social media classes, it taught me things that I could tweak. Using Canva, they taught me things that I could have done in order to get around my pictures, how I do my layout and stuff like that.
Okay.
All those things were very helpful for me in terms of building like my photograph, you know, how to use my logo on my photograph to make sure that people see, when they see the product, they see the logo, knowing that, well, that's an Aziphos Creations. So yeah. It's a collaboration, because honestly speaking, when both of us at work, he actually helps me, like if I do it like these metal pieces that you see here, he will help me cut them and help me stamp them sometimes, even sand. It depends. I ask for help. Along with the shoes too. When the shoes are being prepared, he has to cut out the soles and I have to stitch them. So it's a balance between us. It's a work that we do as a team, really and truly. So it's not like him and not me. Both of us are involved in everything. Yeah. But the jewelry, yes, in some of it is mainly me. Yeah, and then it got certain shoes like belts and stuff is mainly him. But it got most of the work, I would say, is a collaboration of both of us. Yeah. My name is Azizah, his name is Sipo, but it's not a made-up name, it's actually a South African name. It means a gift in South African language. Sipo is the male version, Azipo is the female version to the name. Yeah. Yes, they are. My first daughter, she used to be around with me a lot when she was younger and I would be and stuff. And she can make jewelry. I used to have summer camps when they were young as a Rastafari woman and as a Rastafari couple. We didn't want our children to be too much into the system in terms of like going to summer camps and all that. So we created summer camps within our field, and we would have our children as well as like neighbors' children to our home, or if we use a community center or whatever. And that's how we raised our children, that they learn what we do, as well as other things to learn in the history of Barbados. We would make it a package within the whole summer camp. But with it, had to be arts, what we do. So they learn a lot of the arts in it. So my daughter, Nakima, she can do jewelry, but she liked making clothing. So she went and do a little bit more in at the skills training to learn more about dressing. So she could handle herself in making clothing, even for men, suits for men. But that's not her career choice still. She's a teacher. But that's her side hustle still, that she knows how to do these things. She can still, help out a person in making something for them for money. Then we have Aziphos, which she has the name of the business. She also knows how to make jewelry as well. She was a part of the YES program. Yeah, she as an entrepreneur. But her passion is working in food. She went to Palmery, so she did hospitality. So she likes to still work, like kitchen work. So the thing is, we allow them to broaden their horizons, to expand on things that they want to learn in this world and, be comfortable with whatever they do. But I always tell them, I teach them this because anything they will have a skill to rest on, so that you could eat at the end of the day. So all of them are the last girl. She knows how to sew. She can make jewelry. They're very paint. The same as Zippo, they can paint. They're very good with their hands, I would say. But I don't limit them in terms of knowing other things. Okay, well, for me personally, I'm a person that like difference. I like to dress different in terms of my wear. What I like for myself, that is probably how I send off my creativity. So in my creations, I like classy. I like things that exquisite look, exquisite. That's it. Authentic. All them words that makes it different. So for me, I don't sketch much. Sometimes I just start working on a piece and it just keeps flowing and come to life. And over the years, I always base my designs on one of a kind. Try to always make a one of a kind piece because all of us are individual of our own kind. We are different in our own kind. So creativity could be that way too. Most like creation is different. Each piece must be different. Each dog must be still different to the next dog. You understand?
Yeah.
So I try to not be repetitive in my creation. We have too much of that on earth already. Where it is Chinese, mass produce everything. So for me now, I want to be different. I want that every piece that somebody come and buy, they can say they feel walk with it with pride. That they know, well, only me might be wearing this piece, and conversation-wise too. That somebody will see them and say, oh, I like your piece. Women like to hear that. Even men like to hear that. When somebody can say, oh, I like your piece, we wear that for you, or whatever the case is, So that brings a good energy towards the piece, as well as more business for me when that conversation happens. Somebody will pass on my name, and then more from there. And also where to project authentic African dress, where we as a culture, we was robbed and out of our cultural movement, our culture, we didn't get to grow up on a culture per se. We adopt other people's cultures. So I always try to also keep up the African traditional cultures. So you got pieces that I would do that you can go Africa and see people like these spiral pieces, like these pieces here. You can go Africa and see those pieces still being produced. And the spiral is an infinity sign, a never-ending cycle. It starts, but you keep going in a cycle. If you look on the water, you will see shells have that same spiral. If you look at the whirlwind, which is like a hurricane, you will see that it forms as a spiral. So a spiral is a significant, we would say, symbol at that aspect, Because you want that your culture to still be strong and alive. We are people who were not conscious of our culture. So we that regain our consciousness, we have a duty in order to keep our motherland alive. Because we are Africans, we are Chinese, we are Indians, we are Africans. By the color of our skin, whether we want to accept it or not, that's our culture. So it's our duty, if we want to take it as a duty, in order to keep that culture alive, whether we talk it, we live it, we dress it, we eat it, you understand? We got to keep it as a movement alive and not being Europeanized. We call ourselves being Europeanized because we born into it from our parentage, which they didn't know any better. Because like I say, the slave master lick it out to me. I do everything to get it out of the system. But when we realize our consciousness, we have to revive it. We have to bring it forward. That our youths now, because it ain't we ancestors ain't we. You understand? We carry the first skin of our ancestors in matter. Because when we forward to the earth, where the people is called death, we go back to matter, which doesn't disappear. So we might not be here in the flesh, but our matter is still there within the lineage of our ancestors. So once we acknowledge it and embrace it, it is something that we can want to do naturally in terms of always having our African self being visible, being acknowledged, and we can learn as much history. Because as you know, if you don't know your history, you know where you're going. So once you know your history, then you will know what you will teach to the next offsprings that coming up. You know, even if you ain't got offsprings, it's people looking at you all. You know, you always got somebody that, you know, you might even get someone come up to you and say, yes, watch you one time and say how you live, and you know, I really admire how you was moving. You don't know that. So which meaning you've got a duty in life to live a certain way so that the others can pass on, you know. And I would prefer that I more teach the cultural African heritage of our nation, you know, rather than the European, because we're Europeans. Okay, if anyone who would be seeing this interview and want to see more of my pieces, we are on Instagram on Aziphos Creations. We are on Facebook, which is Vanessa Azizah Onifa, or you can go on Aziphos Creations. Once you type in Aziphos Creations, you can find us. That's A-Z-I-P as in Peter, H-O, Aziphos Creations. And once you type that in Google, you can always find us. Just have to type it in Google and you will find us. Yeah. Oh, I would have loved to have it still existing now, but no, it's not. But anytime I get a chance to do it, I would do it again. That's the truth. I would do. I mean, my last son, he's 13 now. But yeah. I teach a lot of classes as well, coming along with my art farm. I teach at a lot of various schools, private schools. The last school I taught at was Codrington School in St. John. I taught there for over 10 years. And Irving Wilson, which is the period. Grisette's Primary, Westbury, different schools, we carry our work and, you know, show the children what they can do, you know, in terms of broadening their mind and creativity. You know, you don't have to stick to one thing. You know, that's the expectation that we were planted with in our generation, to think that we have to be all doctors or lawyers or policemen or, you know, but we can be creatives and make money being creatives. My message would be that in anything that you do, invest and strive to have your own or carry on your parents' empires. I want to leave this message for youths or black youths especially that doesn't see their parents' businesses as anything. Don't look at it as nothing. See it as something that you can carry on because we didn't come up in those times to say that we have something to carry on from our parents. So I'm asking young people, when you see your mother and father come up with as being entrepreneurs, it don't have to be the same thing that you might be carrying on, but know that you can work for yourself. You don't have to work for anyone in order to live in this world. You can strive off of your own understanding in terms of being creative in every way that you can be. You just have to have a skill and you can go from there. Just for you, keep up the good work. I would like to see that within your endeavor, you go to, the lengths that you want to go in terms of getting the arts, expand and getting across the medium. And for you to grow in a like that, you projecting within your mind. Yes. Thank you too, and thanks for coming and giving the time.
No problem.